I think from everyone gets a different impression of what marriage is or what they think it's going to be from how they're raised and their environment a lot of the times. But okay, say I am submissive. That's fine with me if it's within reason, right? Like you said, like what he's asking you to do. I do think it's nice when a male takes the lead in a marriage or relationship. But
not just a marriage and a relationship. The second you meet a man, you want him to lead. Yes.
Yeah,
meet me
that's
here
true sometimes.
at this time. I'm going to pick you up.
That's true.
We're going here. We're doing this. Yeah. This is what we're eating.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not just, in marriage you want him to be a leader.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't think of it that way.
You guys meet.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, then I guess, so then with us being submissive, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then if it works, it works. If we're both attracted to each other and, I guess I'll be submissive and they'll be dominant, that's fine. In the way that they'll pick the time, I'll be there. I'll be in a whatever.
Just claim
I'm
y'all
wearing.
are modern women. Just claim you're modern women.
What's the definition you think are
modern woman?
I don't think anyone denied that they were modern women. This is 2024, not medieval times.
You're right. Y'all are modern women. But you still like to receive the benefits of male traditional gender roles.
I also like to do traditional roles as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I think
like
there
what?
can be. I don't think it's black and white.
I mean,
do you think we're not deserving at all of any of that?
Miss. No offense.
No offense taken, but I do OnlyFans.
You're not traditional, you're a porn star.
Sure, in that aspect, I'm not. In that aspect,
do.
I'm not traditional. In other aspects, I am. And it's like,
okay,
what's your argument?
I mean, it's kind of like, it would be like me saying as a guy, oh yeah, like I'm traditional, like I open your car door, but like you're gonna pay for fucking everything on the date. Does that make me traditional?
No.
Oh, if there's like a safety situation or like there's a fight that breaks out, you're going to defend me. And I'm going to there's a spider.
If it's against a girl, the girl's going to defend you because you can't touch her.
If there's a spider, you got to kill that shit.
I have traditional ways and I have non-traditional ways, and I think that's what I just said is no black and white.
I think it, to some degree, it is a spectrum. Like some people could not be fully 100% traditional. There could be like a spectrum to it. But I think like when it comes to y'all, you guys, even like you could be super woke, progressive, like super liberal, super feminist, not traditional at all, but you still acknowledge that traditional treatment from men is way better than like modern treatment from men. And so despite you all being modern, non-traditional women, you've totally forsaken, abandoned, cast aside your traditional gender roles, but with the utmost entitlement, you still expect men to adhere to their traditional gender roles.
I see where you're coming from with that, and okay, so say, okay, we're not virgins, we're not traditional, we're more modern, I guess, and what we're expecting and what we desire, right? So that means that are we just maybe, or how do both people? How should the woman then change if she's not traditional, but if she wants something traditional? How should the woman change and what should she do? And also, how is the man still going to accept her? And is she just kind of used goods as if she's not a virgin anymore? Is there still hope that she can I
can answer the question. It's a good question.
Okay.
So let me steelman it first to make sure I got it correct. And then if I got it correct, I'll go ahead and answer it. So your question is, well, I don't understand though, if we've broken all the virtue and this and that, but we want to go back, right? We want to in some way do this differently this time. What are the things that we can do to do that? Is that essentially what the question is? Or are these women just broken and busted and no longer worthy of anything? Is that what you're asking?
Of course. I should do my part as he should do his part. So how should I do my part then?
Yeah, well, one thing that goes a long way for men is submission.
Okay.
So the idea of traditionalism, right, or the idea of if you generally want a man of high virtue, he's going to expect submission. That's going to be at least one thing he's going to expect. However, if you want a low virtue man, they often don't give a shit. So it's kind of up to you.
But no. So submission, okay, I understand and all of that, but there is a clear thing of no one's better than the other, right? We're both loyal to each other, we both love each other, and we both are, I guess, in a way, a team, so that we can create a healthy living environment for our children.
That's the opposite of submission. So the idea of virtues between men and women are very different. The idea for masculine virtues, for instance, are going to be things like bravery. They're going to be things like what could be perceived as what she was talking about with chivalry, where you're the protector, you're the guider. There's all sorts of different virtues that you can associate with masculinity. Feminine virtues are things like chastity, right? Gracefulness, empathy. These are various forms, right? But not leadership. That's not a feminine virtue. It's a masculine virtue. It's a male-sided virtue. So the thing is that, of course, virtuous men expect that from women. They expect them to fall into their feminine roles as virtuous women.
I feel
otherwise, they just simply don't think that you have virtue. They consider you vexing or willful or things like this.
Go ahead.
So are you kind of saying that men, are you really talking through and through traditional in a sense of a household where men go to work and the woman stays at home? Is that what you're referring to?
Well, women have always worked.
I'm talking about a traditional household, you're referring to with submission. Is that what you're referring to?
What you're asking, trying to answer the question.
Because I feel like my question is, I feel like now, you say men want submission, but I also feel like to a certain extent they really don't. They'll make fun of you if you don't have a job. They'll make fun of you if you're not contributing. So it's they want everything. They want you to make money, but less money than them.
You think that a contribution or minor contributions to the household or working towards some shared interest or goal or something like this has anything to do with virtue, because it doesn't. The idea that, okay, you're in a two-income economy or something like that, so it requires two incomes, doesn't have any bearing whatsoever on the nature of your virtuousness. None. Not for men and not for women. So yeah, there could be an expectation that women at times contribute to the household, or perhaps the entire time they contribute to the household because there's no other way around it. So what? How does that affect a man's virtue or a woman's? I don't even understand that.
Well, you're talking about submission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, submission. Yeah.
So give me so she's submitting to a man, yet she makes significantly more money than him. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
It's not transactional. Virtue can't be bought. You can't be oh, well, the thing is, I make just as much money as you, so I don't have to be fucking virtuous. That makes no sense.
I have a question. So, what constitutes as a leader? Because are you saying that women can't be leaders?
Well, yeah, they can be leaders to some extent, some regard, sure, but they're never going to lead societies ever.
Why do you feel that way?
Because it's force doctrine. So essentially, it just operates this way. When it comes to power dynamics, men are always going to have an advantage over force, and since they have an advantage over force, women will always have to appeal to men for protection and rights, and men will never have to appeal to women for that.
So if let's say this, women are typically better at multitasking and men are typically stronger. I just want to make a point.
That's true.
I'll just grant it.
I could be wrong. I want to hear your take on this, because I honestly think you're a very good debater, and I wanted just to tickle your brain on this. So I would say women are pretty good at multitasking. They can handle a lot of things at once. And I'd say men can definitely have more force and more strength over women. But I feel wouldn't it be better to run the world off of a computer than a hammer?
Well, who's going to make the computer and who's going to make the hammer?
I feel like they have to kind of go together. If you're only the hammer, you're going to be a caveman. If you're only a computer, you're not going to have, I don't know.
Well, who's going to make the computer, though? And who's going to maintain the computer systems? And who's going to write all the software for them? Well, by the way...
Then there's the thing, though. We need each other.
Let's assume for a second it's all women who do that. Mm-hmm. And men just decide one day, fuck them, we're going to go take their computers. What can women do about that?
I mean, women build computers, too. But what I'm saying is society goes better as symbiotic.
I'm granting your argument. I'm saying, let's just assume women built all the computers. All of them, every one of them in existence. And men one day collectively went, fuck, I want all their computers. We want all their computers. And they just went and, took them. What could women do about that?
But I'm not saying computer as an object. I'm saying women are smart and they're great at multitasking. They are the computer of society. And then you have men, they are the hammer, they are the boot, they are the enforcer of society. You can't just put one of them in the corner. You can get so much more.
Wait, are you talking about IQ?
No, not just IQ.
I understand what she's saying. What she's saying here is, if women are better multitaskers, right, they can do various tasks in a more efficient way. Mm-hmm. And so women act in society as like a central task allocating computation machine. Then shouldn't you give that task to women because they're better at it, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, for the betterment of society, like, because women can be leaders. I feel like a computer, something that's multitasking, something that could tell people what to do, where to do it, that they can still be a leader in.
I mean, that's what they do right now. Hang on.
Sorry,
I'm granting your argument. I just gave it back to you, so I'll just respond to it. That's literally what women do right now. They're in the charges and jobs that they have are designed specifically around this. They're school teachers. They're in the service industry. They do all this type of shit. But whether or not you're a great task manager, whatever that means, or you're in some way great at logistics or something like this. Who cares? You're not going to go up on the top of the mountains in order to fix power lines. You're not going to be doing oil rig work. You're not going to be doing any of the type of work which keeps society running, and you don't have the force necessary, the requisite compositional force necessary to make men do what you want through anything other than subtle manipulation. So if men ever decide at any time to exercise force doctrine, women can't do anything about it. Now, if you want examples of that, I give you every Muslim nation on planet Earth right now.
No, I understand that, but I would also tell you that the majority of countries that are led by women are the happiest in the world.
The Nordic nations?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not true. So this metric comes from the United Nations, right? And the UN polls on the metrics for happiness are actually quite silly. And I could actually, if you ever wanted to, I could go through them with you so that you understood this. But you can go through them line item by line item, and they're quite silly. If you look at depression rates in Nordic nations, it actually makes sense why so many people there are depressed, because it's always snowy and cold and dark and drab. So they go off of other metrics like, oh, they make more money per capita. They do this per capita, but not actually off of mental illness, depression rates, things like this. They go off of completely different metrics than you or I would use to determine happiness.
Yeah, but I also say that their countries. Go ahead, Brian.